Hey everybody, welcome into the Fallout Shelter. I want to talk to you today about more censorship and crime prediction. The president has asked social media to predict crime, basically. So let's just jump right into it. Following a weekend with two mass shootings, President Donald Trump directed the Department of Justice to work with local, state, and federal agencies to work harder to find potential attackers. He also called on social media companies to develop tools to detect mass shooters before they strike. What do we do with them if we detect them before they strike? Is that an infringement upon your right? Who are they going to detect that upon? During a speech Monday at the White House, Trump said the internet acts as a dangerous avenue to radicalized, disturbed minds. The perils of the internet and social media cannot be ignored and will not be ignored, he said. Hate has no place in America. Trump also asked the FBI to identify what resources the agency needs to investigate and disrupt hate crimes and domestic terrorism. Alright, so we're going to predict the crimes. We're going to investigate and disrupt hate crimes and domestic terrorism. But or is that just shooters? Wait a minute. No. Conspiracy theories pose a new domestic terrorism threat, according to a secret FBI document. Trump also asked the FBI to identify what resources the agency needs to investigate and disrupt hate crimes and domestic terrorism. It's your mainstream news, people. Pay attention. Later in his speech, the president called for the end of the glorification of violence, focusing on the video game industry, and said mental health laws must be reformed. Trump also said he will direct the Department of Justice to propose legislation to treat hate crimes and mass shootings as capital crimes that can result in the death penalty. Hello? Social media, misinformation, conspiracy theorists, domestic terrorists. Check this out. Social media companies are trying to develop institutional mechanisms to contain the spread of misinformation. Responding to the new research, a YouTube spokesperson said, "Since this study was conducted in 2018, we made hundreds of changes to our platform, and the results of this study do not accurately reflect the way that YouTube works today. These changes have already reduced views from recommendations of this type of content by 50% in the U.S." Okay, now, technically, if you take this math and you say from 2000 to 18, there would have been an increase in views, because I'm sure there was an increase from 16 to 17, 17 to 18. If they only cut 50% of their 18 views, well, then they probably cut 60% or 65% of what would have happened in 2019. But it suggests these measures are not enough. As a result, governments around the world are taking action ranging from passing legislation to internet shutdowns. Wait a minute. What did Trump just tell us about the internet? The perils of the internet and social media cannot be ignored and will not be ignored. The internet acts as a dangerous avenue to radicalize disturbed minds. So we're going to turn them into terrorists, radicalized, disturbed. Oh yeah, what's Richie from Boston been talking about? Storm Area 51 and how that'll be used to take the internet away from you? Well, let me throw this at you. It'll also be a weapons test, a laser weapons test that will be conducted, and then they will take your internet away from you. All of these articles will be linked. You can go read the whole thing. I'm just going to read a short section here. Pentagon scientists told the Times that they eventually hope to implement a version of the laser that can beam clear messages hundreds of miles away. Such a laser could shoot orders down from an airplane, command a distant crowd, or disperse or warn trespassers away from military installations, like, say, Area 51. What they don't tell you in that article that they tell you in this article is how the lasers can also be used to burn your skin, beam it into your head, and all of that. All of this will be linked in the description. So, President Trump is going to get the social media companies to be able to predict crime and also to investigate and disrupt hate crimes and domestic terrorism. Like, I don't know, conspiracy theorists? Hey, President Trump, making America great again.